We get 8 days of a week and I just so happen to land on a Thursday. It can't be Thursday yet because Thursdays aren't Fridays, and Fridays is when Tears of the Kingdom finally releases. But it can't be Fridays because Fridays aren't Mondays, and Mondays is when I do my weird rule rants, and oh my god, I'm being stretched too thin. The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom is a video game. Yeah, I know, sorry. You'll want an actual conclusive opinion on that, but I just can't deliver that yet. The game comes out on Friday, and my weird wall rants are scheduled for Mondays. It's like a really weird therapy session. I won't be able to sit down and unload all my thoughts because I'll be too busy playing through the game. So here's my master plan. Before the game comes out, list off a few predictions, hopes, dreams, and theories like normal, and then come back to them later when I've actually played the game. I can tell already, I'm going to be absolutely wasted when that game finally releases. Trust me, never underestimate me with a game I've pre-ordered. I die by that shit. So maybe I'll just chill out a bit on Monday. Make it more of a relaxed wall rant, a wall conversation, or a wall conclusion. I should phone my f***ing friends. Let's start with, expectations. I started out feeling honestly nervous for this game, and I've expressed that worry after seeing some of the trailers, but oh my god, I've never been happier to be proven wrong. Genuinely, because every piece of marketing and trailer shown after that Nintendo Direct trailer has made me swoon. The gameplay demo wasn't without fault, but those abilities. Good lord. And that final trailer, that final goddamn trailer. The music, the saxophone, Zelda and Link and Ganondorf, good lord almighty above. I like the characters, I mean the trailer. I don't know why Nintendo left it so late to show us all of that, but I'm just so glad to finally have a hook for this game. I can finally cancel my appendicitis appointment to play it all through the weekend. But to summarise, my expectations have been lifted exponentially to the point where this is going to have to be on par with Breath of the Wild. So just checking over my notes. Yeah, this is going to have to be a 10 out of 10 game. I won't sugarcoat it. I'm hoping for an experience at least on par with Breath of the Wild. I'm not stupid enough to expect it to feel the exact same. I was 11 years old when I first played Breath of the Wild, and I think it added this almost childlike wonder to the whole game for me. Discovering Hyrule for the first time with the knowledge of go anywhere, go to the Divine Beast, explore the world, was just, in a word, magical. And yeah, it's a reused map, but we've seen quite a few changes, and I really do think we're shaking things up enough for it to feel like a whole new experience going in. Please believe me. Pretending that'll actually work for the ground aspects of the game is the healthiest coping mechanism I've ever utilised. And not to mention those Sky Islands. Wow. I'm hoping that all of the new content they're packing into the game, and the stuff they're very obviously not telling us about, is enough to spark that same sense of discovery in me. I want it to feel like a whole new world again, you know? Going through Breath of the Wild completely unfamiliar and having to discover things as I go sort of made the experience for me, and I want that again from Tears of the Kingdom. And again, despite what I've said in the past, I'm not a dumbass. I know I've already been through this world before and it's going to feel familiar. I'm also hedging my bets on the new content here and how I'll have to figure that out as I go along. Like, this game's got me taping stuff together to make boats and flying machines. If you don't think I can have fun taping 2 pieces of wood together to make a boat, then you underestimate just how much fun I can have by taping together 2 pieces of wood to make a boat. God, all the new mechanics in the game look so f***ing cool. I can't get over them. Link looks so let's talk about Link. So we see 2 main outfits for Link, this seemingly upgraded hero tunic with the little leather patch on him, and this more mythical green outfit with a long hair that I just can't get over. And we see Zelda with this hero tunic inspired outfit too from Breath of the Wild, and then also in this white dress speaking to someone mysterious. Are you following here? I struggle to follow myself sometimes, I don't blame you if you're not. We know they both go into this cave, meet dehydrated Ganondorf who f***s up Link's arm and causes this, and I've just got a sinking feeling about this one. Okay, no, cut the drum. They are dead. Dead, I tell you. Dead. Deader than dead. They are dead until the game inevitably brings them back. Let me mourn. I think they die in this scene. It's as simple as that. No, don't bring back the drum. Obviously, they're not permadead, at least not in Zelda terms. The whole point of the Zelda timeline is that the cycle repeats forever, I think. And we see in this specific scene, at least how I interpreted it, Zelda sort of sounds like she's remembering Link. Ironically, like a parallel of the entirety of Breath of the Wild, where Link had to go around remembering Zelda. So, what if the game opens with this cave scene, Zelda and Link both die, and are somehow reincarnated / revived through either Zelda's absolutely cursed and horrific timeline's dark voodoo magic, or through the established revival methods already in the game. I think that's f***ing dumb and I'm the one saying it. That probably reads like bad fanfiction, but I don't know. We're trying to fuse story and Breath of the Wild together here. It never works. It's story and Breath of the Wild. Which links into another one of my expectations and hopes. If I beat the game and I get hit with a big, fat This is how I celebrate all major life events. I won't lie, it's a huge buzzkill, and probably Breath of the Wild's biggest flaw. Yeah, the DLC adds a post-game technically, and I expect there to be DLC for Tears of the Kingdom, because come on now. But I'm hoping that there's just more to do after the game's wrapped up. As much as I love exploration, and there was definitely plenty of content to do in Breath of the Wild once I finished the main quest, I think I just want something more permanent that changes the world once I beat the game. I want to complete the main quest and have it stay completed, you know? Not get trapped in some Mr. Incredible intro scene shit where I just want the city to stay saved, you know, for 5 minutes. That should probably do it. If I'm gonna float my own boat for a minute, pretty good predictions. I mean, come on. I only said I need this to be a 10 out of 10 once, so I'm doing better than 90% of the Zelda fan base. Excitement levels though, I'm in the thick of it, through the fucking roof. I don't know how I'm gonna sleep tonight. How I love my pretty bed. Now I rest my weary head. Let's discuss. So I've been playing Tears of the Kingdom for about 6 hours, which is kind of crazy, all things considered. I've been playing on the Switch OLED actually, which has been a very good experience. I'm not gonna lie, it's way better than I thought it was gonna be. And might have to do a wall rant about that at some point because wowee. But I guess I should probably just give my thoughts on Tears of the Kingdom so far. There won't be many major spoilers because I'm not there yet. I'm about, like I said, I'm about 6 hours in. So I'm done one dungeon, which isn't a spoiler to say that. There are dungeons in this game, and Nintendo did announce that 2 days before the game came out, which is very annoying, but I can now say that there are dungeons in the game without being spoilers, so nah. But yeah, I guess we should probably start with the opening of the game. Wow. So we open up with Zelda and Link exploring the underground of Hyrule Castle and seeing some like ruins about the Zonai and, you know, the King of Darkness and that, and it's very good. You know, it does suffer a bit from what I like to call NPC that walks so slow, it makes you want to blow your head off with a shotgun syndrome, but not too much. I think it's just cool to see, you have Link with the whole Hylian outfit, he has the upgraded tunic thing, the upgraded hero tunic, the blue one from the original game. He's got the Master Sword, which is a very important thing to have. You have 20 hearts, you have 3 stamina wheels, and I think it's just really cool to see this like super version of Link, which then obviously when they encounter the gloom and all that, Link ends up getting hit with shit, and the Master Sword breaks apart, and his arm gets f***ed. I was wrong, they didn't die. Well, I'm not far enough into the game to know what's exactly happened to Zelda. She's kind of just floating around Hyrule right now in that weird outfit. I'm not entirely sure what's happened to her. It's very cool regardless though. But Link didn't die. He nearly died though. And that's why his arm is now destroyed. He has to get a new arm, and that's where all the abilities are based on. Speaking of which, abilities, let's talk about them. So Ultra and Fuse essentially pretty cool. Those are the 4 main abilities you get in the starting area. I think Ultra's my favourite just because of how creative you can get with it. I really underestimated just how creative you can be with hand. It was one of my main concerns going forward from the Nintendo Direct trailer. I think I mentioned before how it wasn't quite selling me and I was a little concerned because fusing stuff looked a bit weird. It's so good. It's so good. Just the creative possibilities that unlock with this and there was this one bit in one of the dungeons I did. This isn't like major story spoilers or anything, so things, I don't know, slight gameplay spoilers, you can go with that. There was like a cog and I had to grab an icicle. I was in Burrito, it was Burrito dungeon. I had to grab an icicle, fuse it to the cog, and get it to turn another cog that way, just by like, it was so cool. It was so cool. Like, just everything in this game is, the creative possibilities in this game are just staggering. Especially when you compare it to the original, it just won it in ways that I never thought it could, which is just incredible. Fuse. I think Fuse is a little bit goofy, and I don't mean that in a bad way. The idea of taking items and attaching them to your weapons is cool, and it definitely works really well when you have, the construct enemies drop little like weapon attachments, and those things are designed to be fused onto like swords and that, and they give you like insane attack boosts, and those look cool. But then you can get really silly with it, and you can start fusing spears to other spears, and you can just get like really long spears and broadswords and that, and it's a little bit goofy, I'm not gonna lie, but it's funny. And at the end of the day, like, it's completely my choice, it's the player's choice whether they want to work, you know, do stuff like that, whether I want stuff using like Cthulhu jellies as shields and stuff. So ultimately I don't really mind how goofy it is, because if I don't want to do that, I don't have to. And at the end of the day, it's just adding creativity to the game. I can have apple swords. You can make apple swords, and I just think that's, in a way, it's f***ing incredible. Ascend is the next ability, and honestly, it's not a bad ability. It's nowhere near a bad ability at all. I quite like Ascend, you know, but at the same time, it's just sort of versatile. Compared to something like Ultra Hand, where it's like, oh my god, I can move all this stuff. It's like Magnesis on crack. Recall is like Stasis on crack, and Fuse is just Fuse. But then you get to Ascend, and it's like, oh, I can just go through the ceiling now. It adds Traversal, which is like nice, I guess. You know, it's not even bad. It's good. It's a good thing to have, but it's also like, yeah, okay, yeah, I can use that. Recall. And those just, Ultra Hand and Recall sort of stick out to me because they're basically Magnesis and Stasis on crack. Only Ultra Hand is like a good trip, and then Recall is a mid-trip. It's good. You can use it for a lot of stuff, you know. There was this one point where I was exploring Hyrule, and one of the rocks from Skyland like dropped down. That's something they do. And it suddenly clicked to me what I'd seen in one of the trailers for the game, where Link hops on one of the rocks and recalls it, and it just flies back up in the air, and that's how he gets to the Sky Islands. So that's what I did. I hopped on a rock, I hit recall, I recalled it, and I just went straight up to the Sky Islands, and that is a good use for recall. It's a good ability, but it's also like, it's kind of limited in these cases. Like, you can do stuff where, like, if an enemy throws a big projectile, like a big rocket, you can like recall that and send it back to them. But I haven't really had the chance to use that, because then I'd have to swap to recall, I'd have to use it, move it, whatever. That's kind of my main takeaways from the 4 main abilities so far. It looks like there's going to be more, because in the little like radial menu there's options for 2 more, so I imagine late game I'll be getting 2 more, I hope. That'll be kind of cool. Speaking of which, I'm so good with transitions. The radial menu, just the UI overall in this game, it's just so nice to get a refresh, if you know what I mean. Like, it really goes a long way to just face tune the UI a bit, you know, like at a base level, it's pretty much the same. Like, you have, like, when you go into like your inventory or whatever, you still have like, okay, there's my armor, okay, there's my swords, there's my bows, there's my arrows, there's my this and that, and there's my materials. A UI overhaul just goes a long way, even, you know, it's just cool. It's just, on a completely different note, the story is good so far. It's a lot more, it feels like I received in 6 hours all the story of Breath of the, like, in terms of like comparing content levels, in 6 hours of Tears of the Kingdom, it feels like I received all the story content of Breath of the Wild, if you know what I mean. If you know, works in Breath of the Wild, but it also doesn't, in a way. Like, there's pros and cons to it. On the one hand, it's so cool that you can literally just get off a Great Plateau, glide down, go straight to Hyrule Castle, and just fight Ganon. You have to fight, like, you fight the 4 Blights and then Ganon. That's cool, but at the same time, like, there's no story there. And you can go around to the Divine Beast, so you can get story that way, but it's more so just, I don't want to say backstory. It's been a long time since I actually played through Breath of the Wild. But what I remember, it's pretty much just, okay, here's a Divine Beast you have to do, and here's a bit more information on the champion that piloted that Divine Beast. Okay, here's another. Okay, here's another. Okay, here's another. At that point, you're kind of just out of things to do, and if you want to go around finding memories, and at that point, you're also just finding backstory. So then you just go to Hyrule Castle, and then you fight Ganon, and then you see Zelda. But compared to this, it actually feels like we're moving forward. So I don't really want to discuss it, if I'm going to be honest. I don't think there's any like major story spoiler content yet, but it does feel like, you know, there's similarities in terms of when you go to the dungeons and that. It feels less like we're treading backwards and exploring what Hyrule was like before Link woke up, and it feels less like that, and it feels more like moving forwards, and we're seeing, okay, where is Zelda? What has happened? Where did she go? Is like what was happening in the world after the Hyrule Castle exploded into the sky. But I mean, yeah, those are all my thoughts on the game. I really wish I could keep talking about it, but honestly, I want to go back to playing it, and I don't think I have anything else on the calendar to actually go to, so I can finally cancel my appendicitis appointment to play it all through the weekend. Oh my god, I forgot about my appendicitis. Ow, 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 ow. This game, ow.